Curious and welcome back. Despite the fact that it has been a few weeks since the tragedy that took place at the Astroworld festival organised by rapper Travis Scott, the news with regards to it has not left the headlines. Especially as the number of people who lost their lives has risen to 10, and the fact that the lawsuits filed against Scott and the promoters have reached a mind-blowing sum. In light of all this, news has emerged that Kylie Jenner has taken to hiding out with her family away from her mansion. Could this be because she wants to avoid the tragedy and lawsuits having a negative effect on her career, given that she is in a relationship with Travis and expecting a second child with him? What news has emerged since the tragedy? What sum did the lawsuits reach? Could this financially ruin the sicko mode artist? And could Kylie help him out financially? Stay with us to find out the latest news with regards to this couple, but before we continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. As you recall, on November 5th at around 9 PM, Travis Scott took to the stage at the NRG Park for the Astroworld festival when a crowd of roughly 50,000 people began pushing, which resulted with initially 8 people losing their lives and dozens more being injured. We've talked about what has been hailed as one of the deadliest concerts in US history in a previous video, the link to which is currently being displayed above, but for now, stay with us to find out whether the resulting aftermath could bankrupt Scott. In the first days following the tragedy, it was reported that only 8 people had lost their lives, with the youngest being a 14-year-old boy and the oldest a 27-year-old. Since then, the number had risen to 10. The 9th victim was 22-year-old Bharti Shahani, who was taken off life support after being declared brain dead. The 10th victim was 9-year-old Ezra Blount, who has been on life support in a medically induced coma since the events of November 5th, after sustaining serious bodily harm which included severe brain swelling and internal bleeding. After the tragedy, Travis had announced that not only would he refund the tickets costs to everyone in attendance, provide free mental health services, as well as cover the funeral costs for those who lost their lives if the families would accept his offer. But despite his remorse for what had happened, there had been many who blamed the artist for what took place, and in the first few days several lawsuits had been filed against him, Drake and Live Nation, but we'll talk more about the financial side of things in a moment, so make sure to stay with us until the end because the sums might shock you. This also had other negative effects on Scott's career, such as his latest Nike collab being pulled back due to the tragedy, with no word on when the Air Max 1 X Cactus Jack kicks will be hitting the shelves, as well as his Fortnite mode has been removed from the game. Many pieces of information had come out since then, such as the fact that a security guard had revealed that they didn't have adequate training prior to the event, so much that he bailed on his job on the day of the festival, as he was that uncomfortable with the incompetence he says he witnessed. However, as more and more people were piling the blame on Scott, his attorney had decided to speak out in his defense as he appeared on Good Morning America. Ed McPherson had revealed that despite the crowd chanting at him to stop the show and waving to get his attention, the rapper was clueless about the calamity in the crowd because he had an earpiece, blaring music, blinding lights shining on his face, and no one from his team had given him a heads up. As TMZ had reported, after the festival, the rapper hit up Dave & Buster's for an after-party, which many criticised him for. However, at the time, he was unaware that people had lost their lives and hundreds were injured. According to McPherson, he didn't find out about what happened until the day after. The attorney also defended Travis telling the crowd to rage, claiming it's a phrase he used for years and that it's simply his way of trying to get the crowd into the show and to have a good time. The publication had also broken a story that showed Houston cops at the front of the stage taking photos and videos of the show 25 minutes after the event was considered a mass casualty event. The attorney used this as evidence, saying that if the police and security didn't have a clue that something was wrong, how could have Scott? It is also worth pointing out that it's unclear just how involved in planning the festival and all the security details Travis was. Many had pointed out that most likely he had people taking care of that on his behalf, while he was simply the face of the event and its headliner. But that hasn't stopped the lawsuits being filed against Travis, Live Nation, Drake, who also performed, as well as the festival location NRG Park and a county government body involved with managing it, a security contractor and a management company. And most recently, the legal saga surrounding Astroworld has just reached a new orbit, as Thomas Henry, an attorney representing 280 alleged victims, has filed a $2 billion lawsuit. According to documents filed, the suit states the defendants stood to make an exorbitant amount of money of this event, yet they chose to cut corners, cut costs, and put the festival attendees at risk. In addition, in a separate lawsuit filed on behalf of more than 125 plaintiffs, the attorney is seeking more than $750 million in damages to fix, help, or make up for the harms and losses suffered by them. It is not known how the suit will work, how much a sum would be split, and who would bear the biggest cost of them all. TMZ had managed to obtain a certificate of liability insurance from the NRG Park, whose insurance policy totals $26 million, though it is not known if they will have any additional coverage that has not been mentioned in the documents, and at the time this video was made, the insurance policies that are carried by Live Nation or Travis Scott with regards to this event are also unknown. But if the rapper will be asked to pay out for the suit, could his bank account handle it? According to the site Celebrity Net Worth, the rapper's wealth is estimated at $60 million, which is nowhere near the sum that Henry and the other lawyer has filed for. So hypothetically, if this is something that the court will rule he has to do, this could potentially bankrupt the artist. Though, could he turn to his girlfriend and mother of two of his children, Kylie Jenner, for help? The youngest of the Kardashian-Jenner sisters once boasted a net worth of $1 billion, but according to Forbes, that has since declined to $700 million. While still a very impressive sum that without a doubt she'll work on increasing, would she use a chunk of her fortune to help out Scott? At the moment, it is simply unknown. While the couple is not married, so there are no legal obligations there, it is also possible that the business genius Kris Jenner has found a way for her daughter to secure her fortune with legal contracts. Though would they have foreseen such a turn of events? And what has Kylie been doing since the fateful night? A source close to the pair has revealed that the beauty mogul has been staying away from her $36.5 million Holby mansion as she is worried about her safety, given that, according to local media, there has been protesters outside Scott House in Houston, and she has been staying with family who are supporting her through this tough time. The insider had said that she wants to keep herself and her daughter Stormi out of the spotlight at the minute. They added that being pregnant, all of this is a difficult time for her, and she wants the time to process what happened at Astroworld and privately support Travis. Many have speculated whether this would have a negative impact on the couple's relationship and if it would reflect negatively on Jenner's business, but so far nothing seems to be pointing at that. Some had also suggested that maybe the reason Kylie is hiding out is that she has already given birth to their child and for personal reasons, and due to the tragedy, wants to keep the news a secret. Recall that when she was pregnant with Stormi, she had kept the news secret for as long as she could as well. This also had many wondering if any financial troubles were to arise, how would that affect the unborn baby? Remember that Travis has been known for spoiling his daughter with carriages, a school bus and other expensive gifts, which you can find out more about in our previous video by clicking on the link above. But for now, stay with us until the end to find out if Jenner will be expected to pay out. But if the rapper was to declare bankruptcy, how would this affect their little family? As some of you might know, Travis has not been paying any child support for Stormi, even when the pair had split for a while, as they both were raising their daughter and came to an agreement. Though back in 2019, before the pair had split up for a while, a Hollywood-based lawyer revealed that if the two did split, she might have to pay Scott child support money as his income is significantly lower, even if she was the one spending more time with Stormi. And now it is worth pointing out that there is a second baby on the way which could change things or even their agreement. However, as circumstances changed, both in light of the tragedy and the new baby, should Scott declare bankruptcy, could it be that Kylie would have to pay him child support? As some of you might remember, actress Halle Berry had to pay child support to her ex-boyfriend Gabriel Aubrey for their daughter Nala, despite the two of them not being married. Given that she was earning more than the father of her child, a superior court ruling ordered Berry to pay Aubrey $16,000 a month in child support, as well as a retroactive payment of $115,000 and a sum of $300,000 for the man's attorney fees. So it could be possible that if Scott were to take the case to court, Jenner might be ordered to pay him so that the children would have the same comfort while with their father as when they were with their mother. Of course, that depends on whether, as we mentioned before, Jenner has some kind of legal agreement or some legal loophole that would protect her fortune. She could also rebuff his suits for child support by trying to take away or limit his parental rights, which could possibly, in turn, lower the hypothetical cost she'd have to pay. As of right now, it is unknown how the lawsuit will play out and if Scott will even have to pay anything. I'm so curious, what are your thoughts on the lawsuits filed? Do you think the sum is too big? How much do you reckon Travis would have to pay? Do you think Kylie Jenner would financially help him? And should she pay him child support? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Until next time.